Hi. So, 2 weeks ago, or in April of 2025, if you're watching this in the future, right, left, yeah, that way. Um, After 2 days in bed crying, I was binge watching Netflix, the Ashley Madison scandal, and I was just tired of being in bed crying. So, I went to YouTube and I opened it up and typed in the search box, how to heal a broken heart. What popped up was a video by Mel Robbins, someone I'd never actually heard of before. And for the next hour and a half, I watched as she and her daughter, Sawyer, were talking about the book that they wrote together, The Let Them Theory. They talked about Sawyer going through all of this breakup while writing this book and the toll that it took on her and how she got to move forward finally. I found it to be really helpful. So I used one of my Audible credits and picked up the book. And I'm going to get back to the review shortly. And as a side note, yes, I did cancel my subscription to Audible. After listening to this book, though, I was surfing around YouTube, right? And I couldn't ignore what popped up in my feed. A video by yet another creator I'd never heard of, Andy Moore, or also known as The Gentle Rebel. Now, that video is linked in the description for you if you want to go watch it. It is a 3-parter, and it's definitely worth a watch as a trilogy. But as a quick rundown, just so you don't have to go through that to understand this video, the Let Them movement started in September of 2022. There was a poem written by a single mom of two named Cassie Phillips. And when the Let Them Theory book came out in 2025, people started questioning why Cassie wasn't credited in Mel's book for her part in all the organic Let Them movement. People were getting tattoos of Let Them, things like that. I actually wrote it down and hung it on my wall. You can't see it from here, but it is hung up on my wall. So people wanted to know why. They started questioning all kinds of things. The questions started swirling around about the timeline that Mel Robbins talks about. And she's never really given a direct answer to those questions, as far as I can tell. She does say that she has never read Cassie's poem and that it was never the inspiration for her book. This may or may not be true. The world may never know. It's kind of like the owl, How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. So we're just going to be the owl with this one. Although Cassie does admit that her poem was influenced by a character named Medea, created and played by the actor/comedian Tyler Perry. However, it's all based on the core tenets of Stoicism, which teaches us to focus on what we can control and not on the things that we can't control, which is easier said than done. It is also the foundation for the Serenity Prayer. If you're familiar with that, you know that that's the same things. Critics, though, they say that Mel stole Cassie's idea and her poem without giving any proper credit, which is absolutely something that can happen. In our society, it's not unheard of, unfortunately. People steal shit all the time from other people. Critics don't believe that Mel could have just come up with this idea on her own. But this also happens all the time. 2 or more people will and can and will have the same idea. And it can become a who patented or trademarked it first problem. So realistically speaking, humans really, we're not that different. We're all not that unique in our thinking. And it's pretty rare to have something truly special invented that nobody's ever thought of before. For instance, just a personal story about school. When I was taking a marketing class, I had come up with this made up product, and it was a plastic cover for a sink, basically. And it was for when men shave their beards. It can go on this cover, and then they can dump it in the garbage, as opposed to, who cleaning it up, right? Well, a few months later, long after this class is over, I'm surfing the internet, and I find this product not exactly the same, but very, very similar to my idea. It's being sold. I had no idea that this actually existed. How was I supposed to know? I created this whole thing, this whole idea. I made it up all on my own, drawing from my own experiences. But it proved to me that we're not all that different. If you think about it, humans are pretty boring in that we're just so much alike. Even a stupid idea about a cloth for a beard hair was already a thing. I guess I missed my calling there, Should have like trademarked that or something. I don't know. Yeah. So, what makes this argument though sketchy to me in my brain is that Mel is trying to trademark the words let them. And some folks, they're pretty pissed off about that, to say the least. With all of that being said, this book, the theory, the let them theory, if you will, has changed my life. I am not a big social media person, so I have never heard of this movement. Never. It's not impossible not to have heard of it. You may not have heard of it. I don't know. But I am a person who strongly believes that artists deserve credit for their work. So before I continue with the review of the book, I'm going to read Cassie's poem to you. Just let them. If they want to choose something or someone over you, let them. If they want to go weeks without talking to you, let them. If they're okay with never seeing you, let them. If they're okay with always putting themselves first, let them. If they're showing you who they are and not what you perceive them to be, let them. If they want to follow the crowd, let them. If they want to judge or misunderstand you, let them. If they act like they can live without you, let them. If they want to walk out of your life and leave, hold the door open and let them. Let them lose you. You were never theirs because you were always your own. So let them. Let them show you who they truly are, not tell you. Let them prove how worthy they are of your time. Let them make necessary steps to be part of your life. Let them earn your forgiveness. Let them call you to talk about ordinary things. Let them take you out on a Thursday. Let them talk about anything and everything just because it's you they're talking to. Let them have a safe place in you. Let them see your heart. See the heart in you that didn't harden. Let them love you. Cassie Phillips. Really great poem. So now that I've discovered all of this myself and I'm sharing it with you today, I'm going to reiterate here that this book has changed my life. Reading Cassie's poem after I read the book, it solidifies the experience for me. Cassie's poem draws the reader in as it speaks to the soul about something everyone can relate to, love and heartache. The book, The Let Them Theory, on the other hand, gives us a step-by-step guide on how to implement into our daily lives. As a student of philosophy, I've always tried to focus on what I can control, only what I can control. But really, it's not that easy. It's really, really difficult. If you work on it, it still sucks. It's hard. The book, though, it breaks it down with the practical scenarios in which we can use the let them, let me theory. Basically, it repackages Stoicism into a user-friendly guide that most adult humans can relate to. The part that really resonated with me because of what I was going through is the breakup part. We have all had a broken heart. I know I'm not unique in that. And the book, it really gave me some spot on tips about how to heal and how to support somebody who is going through that. My daughter goes through that. She's going to need support. And she did. She went through it recently too. I particularly embodied a few parts of the advice in the book as well. The one tip to fill your calendar, that was awesome. That was great. When I was going through this, I realized I have what I'm calling need a friend-itis. As an awkward, pan-romantic, older, ace woman, it's hard to make friends who share my values, right? And forget dating. Explaining to somebody what a QPR is and then telling them I want some sort of a relationship, but not a relationship that doesn't involve sex, it really doesn't work out so well unless you're in the community and know what the hell I'm talking about, which, only a few people are. We're like less than 1% of the population of the world. So yay. So what I did is I filled my calendar with yoga classes, protests, joined a social group for the LGBTQIA plus community, and I'm attempting to be more active in the ACE community on the whole. I'm trying to get together local ACE people, the few of us that exist. Maybe a coffee club. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. I also going back to school in August as well to finish my degree, if you didn't see that in the last video. Yay, me, right? Anyway, the book actually encouraged me to get out there and just be myself. Anxiety, a lot of it, around meeting new people, it really sucks. It's even hard for me to come out this way in public and talk about all of these things because it's hard. It gives me severe anxiety. But if I don't take the step forward, even in the face that you guys will reject me, or the ACE community will reject me, or the LGBTQIA plus community, basically the letter mafia, will reject me, there may not be anything to lose, but there's nothing gained either. I'm not going to make any friends that way. I'm not going to be able to explore that side of my life. So when all is said and done, I do highly recommend this book to everyone interested in a layman's term breakdown that they can use immediately to change their lives. Okay? This is for people who, like me, are trying to change their life and really have something they're focusing on to change. Okay? If you don't want to change, it's not for you. But if you're looking to change something in your life, you're looking to heal, this video, well, the whole YouTube channel is about cults and healing from cults and how, how they manipulate people and things like that. This is a good way for people to heal. So this is a great book. I do recommend it. But what's going on for the dispute about the influence behind the book, that's completely out of my sphere of control. Now, my opinion is this. I do agree that Cassie deserves recognition for sparking the movement before Mel picked up on it or came up with it or whatever. Whatever the truth is there, and I do not believe that Mel should be attempting to trademark something that wasn't her invention. Even if she's being upfront about not having any knowledge of Cassie's poem, the Serenity Prayer and Stoicism have been around far longer than any of us. And that wisdom, it belongs to humanity itself. No matter how you interpret it, you cannot trademark those two words or anything because it just doesn't work. It belongs to us, the people. The debate, though, is for all the legal experts, a community which I have no part of. I have no dog in this fight. I don't have any control over any of that. In fact, I don't even know the people that are involved. So as a bystander of all this drama, I say let them figure their own shit out and let me work on making my life amazing. So with that, my friends, I leave you with your thoughts on the issue. And if you're comfortable sharing, please do so in the comments. Leave a like, and if you dig this kind of content, just hit that subscribe button over there. And until next time, don't join an MLM and don't join a cult, which are one and the same. Deuces.